Hey, this is Mystery Road. I just wanted to pop in here with a few quick thoughts on what Lou Elizondo just said a few days ago. This was on May 7th. He said something big was coming, and this is really intriguing. So let's dive into it, and let's start speculating a little bit. Let's have some fun. Before we do, please hit like, please subscribe, and as I'm talking, and as Lou is talking, please comment below and let me know what you think is about to drop. Something major, apparently. Okay, let's get into it. This is from an interview that Lou did with the New York Post about a week ago, where he said something big was coming. All right, let's let him put it in his own words, and then we'll discuss.
The truth is the truth, and that's going to lead them ultimately to whatever
The truth is the
conclusion
truth, right,
it
Lou?
does.
You tell him.
One last request I have of you, and then I'll let you go. Is there anything you could share with me without breaking or breaching your NDA that you haven't shared yet with anyone?
Pay attention for the next 30 days. I think this conversation is about to get real interesting.
One more nugget. Anything on that? What do you mean? What do you mean?
That's about all I can say. So far my predictions have been accurate. When I said a few years ago, next year we're going to have a fundamentally different conversation, and we did. And then the next year I said the same thing. And you know, this is a process, not an event, and we are we're taking this topic very seriously.
So
And go ahead, please.
within the next 30 days, the conversation's going to change?
I think it's going to be bolstered. I think more people that have not been part of this topic will probably begin to ask questions.
Okay, so more people are going to be asking questions, people that haven't been addressing the issue before. So we're talking about more mainstream people are going to be discussing UFOs, UAPs, and aliens, according to Lou Elizondo. And by the way, this isn't just coming from Lou. James Fox also did an interview I think on May 5th, where he said something very similar. And I'm certain they're talking about the same thing. There is a definite connection between the two. And James Fox, the filmmaker behind Out of the Blue and The Phenomenon, a filmmaker that I admire a lot, he said on May 5th that something big was coming in the next week or two. Lou is a little more conservative, and he says the next month. James Fox says the next week or two. So whatever this is, it's imminent. And so I thought it would be fun to explore possible things that this could be. Now, all right, so number one. Oh, and again, please like, please subscribe. Comment below as I'm going through it. Let me know what you think Lou and James are talking about. Obviously, something big is going on that is in the people in the know, are discussing and hinting at and trying to get people prepared for. We're going to apparently this is something that's going to take the conversation to the next level. And even people in more mainstream outlets are going to be talking about it, or at least at a wider level. I mean, people in the mainstream are already talking about it. I mean, you've got CNN, MSN, Fox, the New York Post. You've got all these mainstream outlets talking about it, but it hasn't permeated throughout the public as much as it could. So I assume this is something that's going to make that happen, or get it closer to that, or make it permeate more than it has already. Okay, so let's get into possible things that they could be talking about. Number one, they could be talking about another video. This is what I'm really hoping it is. I'm hoping we're going to get to see, for example, more of the pyramids that were floating over the battle cruiser. We had the swarm of flying pyramids. We only got to see a few seconds of that. Wouldn't it be cool to see that whole swarm of flying pyramids? That'd be badass. So yeah, I hope it's something like that. Ideally, it would be something where we could see the craft maneuvering in ways that no drone or human-operated craft could do. Something that defies our conventional understanding of physics. And if those pyramids are big enough, then that would certainly fit the bill. But it'd be great if there were some zigs and zags and some crazy stuff in there. So yeah, so that would be great. I am hoping that's what it is. But let's go on to what else it could be. Number 2, more witness accounts. I'm talking about something like Commander David Fravor of the Nimitz incident, who came out with that great story about the pseudo dogfight with the Tic Tac. Now, obviously, there were no shots exchanged, but they were getting at close range to each other. He was at close range to this alien craft or whatever it is, and they were kind of circling each other in the air and kind of having a little dogfight situation, although no actual fighting. People are very sensitive about the threat narrative, so I want to be clear. But by the way, don't be so sensitive about the threat narrative. They just throw that out there so they can get funding for the projects. Without the threat narrative, you couldn't get ATIP or UAP task force funded. And we want them to be funded so we could study the phenomenon. So, yeah, James Greer, chill out. All right. So we could get another Commander David Fravor with a great story to tell. At an extreme, not just a great story, but an extremely credible storyteller. Somebody who's backed up by other evidence. Again, he had video evidence, but it doesn't have to be video evidence. We have other pilots that have come forward talking about almost colliding with UFOs in midair, and that was I believe the USS Roosevelt. That was the major series of incidents where we got 2 videos from, but that was not one of them. That was a story that one of the pilots was telling, and that particular incident actually led to a lot of what's happening, because that was actually a hazard to the pilots, and he actually felt obligated to report that, and that kind of kickstart a lot of what's going on. So and there was no video for that has been publicly provided. So we could get another great story like that, or Commander Fravor, or something else altogether. So that would be really cool as well. Number 3, we could get actual physical evidence. And I'm talking about something like the famous bismuth artifact that Linda Moulton Howe had in her possession for so long, and is now with TTSA and also being examined by the Army. There's numerous supposed artifacts, if you want to call them that, droppings from these UFOs, and that is what they seem to do. They fly around, they hover for a while, then they drop some material and they shoot off, and people rush to collect that material, and rightfully so. So it could be something like that, or it could be even material from one of these downed craft. So we could get some actual physical evidence. And in a way, that would be the most exciting thing of all. Which leads me to number 4. What if there's actual footage or other evidence of physical alien bodies, living or dead? What if we get an alien on camera? Or even if one of these autopsies, these alien autopsies, was confirmed to be real. Wouldn't that be amazing? I've seen some very convincing pictures in video of alien autopsies, in interesting testimony and fairly compelling testimony surrounding them. Who knows? Special effects are great these days, so it's really hard to say. We need some official confirmation from to tell if these are real or not. So we could be talking about something like that. That would probably be the most exciting of all. I didn't list it as my number one option because I think that's the most unlikely of all. That's one of the latter things that we're going to see. As Lou says, this is a process, not an event. They've got to drip feed us. They've got to take us through baby steps to prepare the public for ultimately seeing an alien. And we are not there yet. We're going to get there. They were talking about this being a 7-year process, and we are now in year 2 or 3. So maybe at the end of year 7, we will get to see an actual alien. Maybe not. But yeah, so it's a process. So I think that is one of the more unlikely possibilities, but it is still a possibility. There is footage out there. There are pictures out there that very well could be real. And, all it would take is an official saying, yeah, that's real. Harry Reid come out and say, yeah, that's the real deal. That autopsy is real. That picture is real. Whatever. Number 5, we could get one of the big stories confirmed. One of the big stories in alien lore, whether that's, the Roswell crash or President Eisenhower's meeting with one or multiple alien races to make various deals. The story that I've heard that's the most plausible about that is that he met with 3 different alien races and made deals with 2 of them and refused to make a deal with the 3rd one. I believe that was the Greys, but I could be wrong. So could we get something like that? Could we get one of these big stories actually confirmed? Somebody comes out and says the Aztec crash was indeed an alien crash. That would be huge. That would be mind-blowing. Now, I highly doubt that is going to happen. I really don't think that they're going to admit Roswell was real for a long time. That's going to, again, be one of the latter things in this process. Why do I say it's one of the latter things? Because it would mean admitting they've been covering this up for a long time. And, there's probably at least one assassination in the Roswell cover-up, that is a known assassination that the, Men in Black or the government, whoever you want to call them, silenced somebody that was going to refuse to go along with the cover-up in Roswell. So I highly doubt they're going to admit to that. They're not going to admit to killing people or any skullduggery, faking, debris, all the things that they did, and keeping that and other crashes silent for as long as they did, in as draconian a fashion as they did. So I really doubt that's going to happen. It would be cool to get Roswell confirmed, or some of these wilder stories like the President Eisenhower meeting with aliens. That would be, mind-blowing, again, if that were confirmed. But I really highly doubt that will be. Okay, so those are my top 5 possibilities for what the big reveal could be. Lou Elizondo and James Fox are saying something big is coming very soon. I personally lean toward it being either another video or a very credible witness account of something. But who knows? Oh, what do you think it's going to be? Do you have a good number 6 or 7 or 10? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think is coming? What would you most like to see? And as always, please like and please subscribe. And again, comment below. It really helps the channel.